Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Yannick, and this is going to be my new series called Rando Rants. I thought I'd kick it off with like maybe a test episode, and so this is more or less what that's going to be. So Rando Rants is basically about random things that happen throughout my day, either about people, technology, video games, art, film, I don't know, just stuff that happens, and it's about me ranting for them, or for them, or about them, or against them. So ranting just profusely in good or bad aspects of them in general. So I have some spare time right now, so I thought I'd do a quick little episode and see how you guys like it, and we'll kind of take it from there, I guess. So the thing I want to rant about, I should say, today is camera gear, specifically new cameras that are coming out. And man, there are some, and if you've done any of your online research recently, there's some really cool cameras out there. Preferably the two that I'm thinking about is the GH4, sorry about the helicopter, Panasonic GH4, amazing little camera, tiny body, a micro four thirds sensor. It records 4K internally, which is insane. Nothing in that price point, I think it's like $1,700, nothing in that price point can record internally like that. Has all the frames you're going to want. I think it does up to 1080 at 120 frames per second, which is like bonkers, I believe. Don't quote me on the last part. I know it's a high frame rate though, one way or another. And it looks like all the reviews right now are just saying it's a crazy camera. And it's kind of got me all hot and bothered, and I like that. The other camera that's kind of got me thinking a lot lately is probably the Sony A7S. Everyone always says the S is for sensitivity. That means it's gonna be gentle on me. It's gonna be like nice and sensitive to me. No, when they say sensitivity, what they're meaning is that it basically picks up more light than other sensors out in the market. So the crazy part is these are both DSLRs, but the Sony has opted out for a high megapixel and is just shot for a 12 megapixel, which, if you know anything about Sony cameras or DSLRs in general, 12 megapixel is actually quite low for something to have actually on a camera itself. But what they're doing is, instead of making it a bunch of megapixels, they're making the pixels themselves very large, so it can capture light better. So basically you have better low light capabilities, and you probably have more vibrant, more accurate colors when you're taking stills or videos throughout the day. The Sony camera I think I like a little bit more, one, because I'm kind of a Sony fanboy, and I'm going to put that out there just because if I didn't say it now, I think the rest of the world and the internet would probably say so, but I like Sony a lot. I think the GH4 is a really great camera, but the one thing that kind of has me hot and bothered is the Sony is a full frame sensor, so that means it has really good depth of field options in terms of being super narrow, super wide. It also has better dynamic range. It also captures colors more accurate. That bigger sensor is more information that you gather, and to get a sensor like that, it costs a good amount of money. So when I'm gonna go and spend some money, I want to get the largest sensor I can, because that stuff's expensive, and that's where the quality of cinematography truly is. And it sounds like Sony's actually making some steps in the right direction to make it even better. So one of the things they're also including in the Sony is S-Log. And S-Log's a professional color profile. What it does is it pretty much, I think it takes away unnecessary sharpness. It adds, I think, another 3 layers of dynamic range. So I think you have 13 layers of total dynamic range, which is kind of crazy because I believe our human eye only has 16, or maybe it's like 17. But that's still really close because traditional cameras, even DSLRs by themselves, normally have like 9 or 10 stops of dynamic range. So by adding another 3, when you take a video and you have like blown out skies and stuff, or your subjects are too dark or the shadows are too dark, you can actually go into a color correction and pull them out, which for any kind of videographer, professional or amateur, it's either a good test case or it's a great tool to have when you're working with that kind of stuff. The price difference is a little bit different. The Sony camera, I believe, is $2,100 or $2,500, just pure body. I think it's $1,700 for the GH4. So the GH4 is probably a little cheaper, anywhere from $300 to like $800 cheaper. Which that is a noticeable price difference, and I think you're also paying for that difference with the body and the sensor and things like that. So you gotta have to know what you're getting yourself into when you look at these cameras. But I think it's funny because I think we're on the eve of seeing DSLRs really just take over videography and take over cinematography. They've kind of started poking their nose in it with the Canon 5D Mark IIIs and Mark IIs. Like, cinematographers have kind of used them as their second or third camera, or they'll use it as a camera to replace some strips of film when they're in really tight areas and they can't get a really nice camera in those areas, because it is also full frame. And you could argue that they created this movie industry with DSLRs. But I think Panasonic and Sony are really kind of picking up the reins now, and they're just like sprinting with it. It is crazy to see what these cameras are doing. And for anyone that was looking at getting, like, that always argues and says stuff like, I want a Leica or I want a Red, I'm like, first of all, you're kind of crazy, and two, these new cameras are pretty much doing that stuff, so get them. Like, if you're looking at that kind of stuff, you're gonna see so many comparisons to the things they can do that these cameras can do, and the price is just crazy cheap in comparison. So that's probably why I'm so excited. And I think it's going to happen is you're going to see a revolution of just professional filmmaking and a high quality look, and maybe a 4K just boom, because I didn't mention this, but the Sony also shoots 4K, but it's not internally. You actually have to have an external recorder, which is going to be expensive by itself. So if you want to record 4K on the Sony, it's going to cost you like another $2,000 for a recorder, which is expensive. But I think you're going to see a boom of 4K recording and like features that you can never see before because of these two cameras. They're just pushing the envelope so hard that it's just going to be insane in a way the things they can do with them. And I think that's what I'm really excited about. And I've been so excited that I've been going on YouTube and Vimeo, and I just can't get enough footage. I'm like, I just want to see test shots. I just want to see footage shots. I want to see ungraded, graded. What are the capabilities? How much? How far can you push the Sony sensor before noise is too far? You know, noise reduction. How far can you push it after you add noise reduction? Is in-camera noise reduction better or not better? Like, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can, without having to buy the camera myself and do these tests, I guess. Because I don't have $2,500 to spend. But, you know, I will probably say hands down, I will be shortly buying one of these cameras. Probably the Sony. I'm not going to lie. But I think that's just because I'm a fan of not having to set up 1,000 lights. Also, getting a bunch of 1Ks and things like that. If I could light a scene with traditional lighting, and then I can have my camera do the heavy lifting and making it look like I lit it with 1Ks, then I will take that every day, any day, over having to buy thousands of dollars worth of lighting gear when I could just buy a camera that supports that. Plus the full frame sensor just got me all like hot, like really hot. Like, So I'm super excited about that, but I just thought that'd be something to bring up to your guys' attention. If you guys are into cameras, cool. If you aren't into cameras, maybe you should look into it. The revolutions are probably about to happen, and I mean like a real revolution. I think up until this point, it's been really great for amateurs and like people that want to like dip their toes in the water. But I think this is going to enable filmmaking in a whole new way. These two cameras, and it's going to make 4K a real thing, because right now it's not a thing. It's dead on the vine basically, and this is going to pump life back into it. So we'll see what happens. Sorry this ran so long. Sorry if some of this was confusing. Sorry if you didn't understand what I'm saying. Again, Rando Rants. It could be random stuff every day. Sometimes you're with it, sometimes you're not. If you're not into cameras, check it out. You might get into cameras. If you want to start making videos or cinematography, you know, just do some research. Google, you know, Sony A7S or Panasonic GH4. Look them up. See what you like. Alright guys, I'm Jeff Yannick. You can follow me on the Twitters at JYannick, Instagram JYannick. Almost every social network is I'm JYannick. That's JYANICK. Thanks guys. Hope you liked the rant. I'll see you next time.